Businessmen and policymakers from the Caribbean and Africa discussed trade and investment and building a new cross-Atlantic economic structure at the 4th Annual Afri-Exim Bank Forum held this year in St. George's, Grenada. 6 Caribbean leaders were among nearly 1,000 delegates at this year's edition, including St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew.
I think I would sum it up as a successful forum that really has leveraged tangible results. There was a lot of speeches and a lot of talk, of course, but what we want to really emphasize is that a lot of those things have translated into what I would say tangibles.
Grenada's Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell had outlined what the forum was all about at the very beginning on Monday.
I will speak as the layman speak. It is about money. It is about business. It is about trade. It is about investment.
Grenadian ambassador and businessman Richard Nixon spoke to Carib Update News about what he sees as the real legacy of this week's meetings.
We have a great conference, great conversations. The work comes afterwards. And I hope we can really spend the time and focus on the work and what it takes to bring some of these initiatives to fruition.
Outgoing African Export-Import Bank Chairman Professor Benedict Orama has called for leaders to support the establishment of an independent commission to strengthen investment plans and economic ties between Africa and the Caribbean. Prime Minister Mitchell acknowledged that more has to be done at the policy level in the region to ensure the growth in cross-Atlantic trade and investments.
I did not hear much conversations about at a government level ensuring that we have the type of treaties that we need to protect investments in each other's space. I have not heard conversations about ensuring we engage in double taxation treaties or information about data sharing or information sharing. So those are some of the things that we need to pursue to ensure that we can say to the private sector that when you invest in the Caribbean or when you invest in African countries, your investment will be protected.
But he said deliberate steps have already started, at least in St. George's, to lift visa requirements from African countries.
We've been pursuing a deliberate policy of lifting visas for travel between Grenada and many of the African countries. I think you heard it from Aliko yesterday on the presidential panel that really the visa regime was something that post-independence many of us imposed on ourselves foolishly, that has in fact hindered trade, economic growth, development, and the people-to-people movement. I will say so unhesitatingly, certainly between Africa and the Caribbean, I do not see any valid reasons for maintaining the visa system.
A door has been opened and the train is already in motion. That was the feeling you heard at the end of the forum in St. George's.
We must not only view the Atlantic as a passage of pain, but begin to see it as a bridge of opportunity.
Over the last few days, investment and load deals were signed for government and private sector investment projects from the Bahamas to St. Kitts to Grenada.
Let us therefore unite as one people, not as scattered states, but as one global Africa, bound not only by ancestry, but by ambition. Let us build the Atlantic Bridge and step boldly into a future defined by our own vision. This is our time. The march has begun, and it cannot be stopped.
From St. George's, Grenada, I am Tahira Burke with the Carib Update News Service for Primetime Caribbean.